I just wanted to talk today about the Mark 1, Mark 2 MX5 and their Achilles heel really. So if you're thinking of buying one, or you do own one, you have the same issues. So I'll walk you through the main things. Mechanically there's nothing much to say. They're pretty spot on. So the theme of this video is going to be that you need to buy off condition. So I've had about 17 MX5s, Mark 1s and Mark 2s. Condition's the main thing because I've had one on 150,000 mile. Condition was good, engine was good, no problems. I've also had one on 50,000 mile, and that had barely any rear wheel arch, and every time I'd accelerate or brake, I'd get the sloshing of the water in the sill. So it's purely condition on these cars. So if I spin you around, the main offender are the rear wheel arches. Most will have been repaired by now. It's just to what standard, that's what you're looking at really. So you want a nice radius, no square edges, and they haven't sanded it properly. So you want a minimal filler. Even the best jobs, you know, probably require some filler, but you want to make sure the radius is here, comes round, everything looks straight. A lot of times you'll be able to see where they sprayed it in all the way around. Stands out a mile off. And next, I'm going to check your sills. Mine's definitely had some work on the sills because it's got this really harsh stone chipping on. So I'm guessing it's had the repair here at the bottom, and then they've stone chipped the whole bottom in. That is standard, but this is just much harsher. Now they've redone it, much coarser finish to it. It's not a bad repair to do because you've always got this line and you can spray underneath. The other side of this lip, if you check 3-4 inches all the way along, so between the seam, 4 inches back, push all the way along, check there's no holes, nothing that's crumbling. So on the front, it's far less common, but I have had one MX5, you needed welding from there all the way up on the inner wheel arch. But I've only had one of them, and it's not as common on the front end, but it still happens. Okay, so in here, the chassis rails. So what we're looking out for. Famously much worse on the Mark 2 because they double skinned it to strengthen them, but it's just caused it to hold moisture really. So this is your chassis rail. You get your hand underneath, give it all a firm press, both sides. This side's harder to get to, and you probably will feel some like crusty, either paint peeling off or maybe the first layer peeling off. You're not really going to avoid that at this age, to be honest. So we used to scrap them for this. We used to, if the front chassis rails are gone, they would just scrap because there was that many of them round. These days, they tend to fix it. It's not a bad job. You can buy the chassis rails for about £50, and you can't see it, so you know, no paint required or anything. The one catch is it involves removing the motor to get to them. So I would personally rather do that than after the wheel arches and have a respray, but whatever you're more comfortable with. So another tip when we're under here, obviously standard when you're buying a car, check all your fluids. But this one, just keep an eye on your power steering fluid, because another rust issue is see these pipes at the bottom? They run all the way along the bottom of the bottom of the front of the engine. They're your power steering pipes, and they're your power steering pipes, and they start weeping, get porous and start weeping. That's very common as well. Another thing you can do is check the MOT history on DVLA website. So I've got a random MX5 in here, 2012 rust, then 2024 again the rust has reappeared. So what that's saying, there's a few like this. I've had a quick look this morning, and it looks like they've rusted about 10 years old, 10 to 15 years old, and then they've been repaired, and then they're rusting again now, because they're 20 to 30 years old, so they're on their second round of rust repairs. It's getting, strangely, it's getting more viable now because they're fetching more money and they're getting rarer, so just something to keep your eyes peeled for. There are good ones around, but you can almost guarantee it either has been repaired or it will need repairing. So you got to pick what you'd rather do with that.